You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Road Rants for Black and White Sports 2, and my goodness, Johnny Football is back. What? No, not with the XFL. No, not with the USFL. No, certainly not with the NFL. But in the fan-controlled football league. What? So I had to go and do some research on this. A couple of surprising things. A lot of NFL players involved in ownership on this thing. The other thing is, when this thing started, they were doing Twitch live streams of the games. But what got interesting is, it went from like 750,000 viewers to 2.1 million in the playoffs. So, evidently, somebody is watching the Fan Control Football League because, frankly, those are XFL-type numbers, okay? Now, I understand it's through various platforms. It looks like Peacock is actually going to show some of these games. Also, on a side note, not only is Johnny Manziel playing quarterback, Quinton Flowers from the XFL is a quarterback in this league. And Josh Gordon, yes, that Josh Gordon, from the Cleveland Browns, from everywhere else, before he got suspended for marijuana, he plays wide receiver in this league. Who knew? Who knew? So, now, their league is coming back, and it seems this league is experiencing some success. And Johnny Manziel's like a coach / player. Let's get to this article. It's from Outkick, and then we'll talk a little bit more about this league because I don't know. My problem here is it's 7 on 7. That's where you kind of lose me here. Spring is upon us, which means once again it's time to unbox the money phone and wreck a professional football league. Johnny Manziel is headed back to the gridiron, but rather than take snaps for an NFL team in need of a QB, like Seahawks or the Panthers, the former first-round draft pick is headed to the fan-controlled football league. Headed back, that is. Man, who knew? I didn't know he was there to begin with. Manziel, who played a handful of FCF games last spring, returns in 2022 as a modern-day Bill Russell, who will double as a player and a coach. And, of course, in true Outkick fashion, as with Russell, numerous championships are soon to follow. The FCF is something that I do not have to do as a full-time job and is different for me than it was in the past, Manziel told TMZ. It's probably best to keep this as a part-time gig. Manziel doesn't exactly have a great track record with full-time responsibilities. There's Johnny right there with the zappers. Not that you need to be reminded, but the FCF kicks off April 16th. Now, I did go look, in case you're wondering, if that date seems to be in your mind for some reason. It kicks off this year with some real competition, unfortunately, for the FCF. The USFL starts April 16th as well, with a game that is going to be simulcast on NBC and Fox at the exact same time. Two network competitors are going to be showing the same USFL game when they kick off. That's really wild. And Manziel insists he's not trying to recapture his former glory. Quote, I don't have the drive to play football at a high level anymore. I don't have a drive to be the best football player anymore that I used to have in my life, and I'm okay with that. Manziel told ESPN, I've come to terms with what my football career was and what it is, and now I'm trying to figure out how I can stay entangled in the game, but from a different position. Manziel's upcoming playing coaching experience will look quite different than his days in College Station in Cleveland, Ohio. The FCF is 7 on 7, features just 8 teams. All games are played in an indoor facility in Atlanta. The league is also interactive. Fans can call plays, chat with athletes, mainly through Twitch's live stream service. Wouldn't that be interesting? Go live on this channel and call in plays to the FCF while they're live playing a game. That'd be pretty wild, actually. Then you guys could send in plays to me, and I could send them in to the FCF. That's pretty crazy. What can I say? I love playing football, and the FCF makes it fun, as it should be, added Manziel. So, in other words, Johnny does seem to have it in perspective. He's talking about full-time and the grind and all that sort of thing. I think professional football, the serious NFL side, I think it took its toll on Johnny, okay? He did a little CFL. He did AAF. I did see him play in the AAF for the few plays that he lasted, and what I mean by that is he come in, and I was like, wow, Johnny looks pretty good. And then he got snapped in half and hurt and was out of the game, and guess what? The league folded like a week or two after Johnny football showed up. And they signed Johnny hoping it would help bring some eyeballs, which, oddly enough, believe it or not, AAF's ratings weren't that bad. But they were about half of what the XFL drew on rating. The XFL was going to make it. When the first thing you hear is, and I've even heard it with, XFL 3.0 is coming back. It's going to fall on its ass. The USFL is coming back. It's going to fall on its ass. It's probably not going to fall on its ass. The XFL was getting a second season had the pandemic not happened. Okay, so for everybody that said it wouldn't last more than one season, no, it was going to get a second season, because well into the season, they still had games drawing well over 1 million viewers per game, and had whatever the Fox game was usually would draw like 2 million viewers a week, okay? So the ratings were there for the XFL, and in certain stadiums, they were selling out. Same thing with the AEF. For example, in San Antonio, the AEF was a complete hit. In Orlando, complete hit. They were selling out games in both cities. I'm talking 20, 25,000 people were selling out these stadiums for these sports leagues, okay? That's why I said when the XFL comes back, or if the USFL expands, San Antonio and Orlando has to get professional teams because they love football and they want it really badly, really, really badly. They'll support anything that is professional football. A lot of NFL players and talent are involved with ownership in this fan-controlled football league. Now, this is interesting. Do we think Johnny might actually get a cup of coffee in the XFL or USFL? Backup quarterback, third-string quarterback. Could it happen for Johnny Manziel? I don't know. The problem is, and nobody just sat back and said this when he was coming out in the draft, Johnny is small. He's a small guy, okay? He is. I outweigh Johnny by 25 pounds probably, So Johnny was never the biggest guy, and it's a tough-ass sport. Tell me what you think, Black and White Sports 2 fans. Johnny Manziel is on his way back to professional football. Fan-controlled football league. Who knew? Peace. I'm out. Till next.
You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.